Hey everybody, it's Jake back again, and today something has arrived for me in the mail. 3 Planetary Collection Palicium packs. Because I want to make my Nanoray deck a little better, maybe get some Polyfall stuff, but there's no like booster boxes, so I just got 3 packs since packs on GameCraft are kind of expensive and it did take a while for them to arrive. So I'm praying that I get what I want in here, which I just want a few cards, mostly just the Nanoray stuff. Praying I can get at least one Sodrius, because I need more Zeta Rays. Let's hop into this. Okay, these are very interesting packs. Apparently, okay, why even have the tab on the back if you have to rip at the side? That is so weird. It's a little bit pointless, but alright. And there we go. So we got Aqua Knight, Paju, Englorp, Friezelon, Elite Transponge. Ooh, Crozin. I might actually use that. We don't talk about that. Greel. Okay. Lake of Myth. Hey! We got Redwava. That's amazing. Sacred Reef. Ranchon. Leviathan Crown. Rudy. Flubbo. The Great Polyfalls. Duple Drop, and oh, Dabacadra. That's interesting. Alright, we already got one card that I wanted. I want 2 of it, but it's at least 1. Redwava gives the deck a grind game, which is nice. Honestly, we just need some searchers, and this deck would be actually pretty decent, because it's got some powerful stuff. But that's if we get the searchers. Okay, another Aqua Knight. Hey, second Redwava. Okay, we don't need more Redwavas. Another Great Polyfalls. Iceberg Face. Nano Stinger. Area, my Nano Stingers. Duple Drop. We don't talk about that. Spinebacked Serpent. Pajuru. Frostboz. The Sacred Reef. Another Crozin. Englorp. Hammerhead. Sharkling. Leviathan Crown, Friezelon. Okay, a rarity bump. Oh! Okay! Okay! I was not expecting to pull this. This is actually pretty good Nanorays. Okay, rarity bump for Mystical Beast. I'll take that, but Crunch on a Palicium. Okay, this is really good for just like basically soul charging your entire graveyard, which normally in Palicium is not the best, since you know this thing has to die first. But since those cards will go right back onto Relantis, it's actually pretty decent. So I'm definitely playing that. That's actually a pretty good pull. Alright, last pack. Honestly, I am pretty happy with my pulls. The only thing I just hope for is the Sodrius. Sodrius is really good. Hammerhead Sharkling, Spikeback Serpent, Aqua Knight, Leviathan Crown, Elite Transponge, another Crozin, Greel. I also have a Polyfalls core, actually. That's kind of nice. Jubbalub, Frostboz, Friezelon, Sacred Reef. Ooh, Gabostris. Actually, I'll use that. That's actually really nice for my Nanorays with how little I have right now. Lake of Myth, the Great Polyfalls, Pajuru. We don't need any more of these. Oh, I just saw it was ridiculously rare. Duple Drop. You've got to be kidding me. I can't use more than one of this. No. No. Ah, that sucks. Ah! I wish I could use more than one of this. This card's amazing. I mean, at least I got a rarity bump. We've got a Gabostrus, the Redwavas, and a Cranchon, a Pally, but no Sodrius. That's sad. It was a really rare. I thought I was gonna pull like just one really rare and that's it, but no, I pulled double Cranchon. That's a little upsetting. Wait, what was my other like more rare card? Dabacadra was my really rare. Okay. I'm gonna look at the Palifalls core that I have. So we have a Greel and a Rudy. We have the Palifalls themselves. There's another Greel. I thought I got the other one. There was like green, red, and I know there's a blue one. Did I not get the blue one? I guess I didn't. So I got 2 Greel, a Rudy, and 2 Great Palifalls. This archetype seems actually pretty decent. I guess maybe this could be something I could use my second Cranch on a Pally, but I don't know if that deck actually plays the card. But I'm starting to get a Palifalls core. That's interesting. The Redwavas are pretty big. Gabostrus is not too shabby because we can load up our Relantis with materials on top of popping cards. Rarity bump of Mystical Beast is pretty nice. But seriously, the double Cranchon is cool, but also disappointing at the same time. I was hoping to get the really rare Sodrius, because Sodrius is such a good card. It's gonna take forever before I can get more packs, which is sad because I really want to get some more packs for this, but because if I get more packs, I can get more Palifalls, which is cool. But the main reason is that I just want Sodrius. There's no singles market for this game, so I need to get packs for Sodrius. But I mean, the stuff I got for Nanoray is pretty good. I don't know if Palifalls plays this card, but I want to find another deck to put this in because getting 2 of this is pretty insane. Is there anything else that I could use? Maybe Corrosion's decent. Maybe Leviathan Crown is decent too. Like, I can use that to protect my big guys. That seems okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem too shabby. I've got 3 Crozen and Leviathan Crown. Yeah, I could maybe... Corrosion is interesting. That helps like get resources back into your hand. I don't know if that's particularly great in Nanorays. I have a feeling Leviathan Crown won't be too bad because Leviathan Crown can make sure that your big guys or your Zeta Rays don't just get bounced or like killed. Although bouncing like Sodrius would be a terrible idea because if they get the fuel for that again, then dear God, that's just going to be pretty terrifying because they can just pop 2 cards again. I think maybe these could be played in Nanorays. Maybe. I'm still not sure about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open more of this. Unfortunately, I was thinking I was gonna pull a Sodrius, not the double Cranchon. Like, that's insane, but also very sad because every Chaos Beast, no matter how bad they are, is limited. And this is one of them. So I'll have to see if Palifalls uses them, because I have 2. And I'm starting to get a core for the deck. I'm missing another Rudy, the blue one. I think its name is Blur. And then the actual big guy of the deck, the like Serpent of Pally Falls. I'm gonna go grab my. Here we are. My deck. Alright. Let's see what I want to remove here. One of the mystical beasts is going to get swapped out for a rarity bump. Because I like the blue stars. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I think I also want to talk a little bit about what Nanorays need in order for them to be good, because I think that's definitely something good to talk about here. Basically, the deck's current problem is consistency. It's always been consistency. Zach's been giving the deck good support, minus the one we don't talk about. We just don't talk about it. Like, Ridwava's great for grind games. It was meant to speed it up, but it's not good at speeding it up because it requires stuff to be in grave already, but it's great for grind games. And Sodrius is everything Zetaray should be. Absolute blowouts. So this deck still bricks like crazy, though. That is a very big problem the deck has always had. Like, it's always had the bricking problem. Honestly, Swirlpool's not too great in this deck, actually. I guess I'll remove Sacred Reef. Maybe I just play one Leviathan Crown and Crozen? I'm thinking. Or, no, wait. I don't know if I should cut a Super Splot or a Bolide Comet. I think the Bolide, because I'm very likely to be able to do stuff with the little guys, so I can easily play them and trigger Super Splot, and Super Splot gets rid of more stuff, like attachment cards. I think we can play Leviathan Crown. Maybe two Leviathan Crowns, actually. I think the Leviathan Crown would come up more than Crozen. Although I am tempted to make room for the other Crozen, since I don't have anything else really for now. Because I don't have much. This is an unfortunate part of this. Right, I was talking about what the deck needs. I think it needs searchers for like more ways to get Relantis, and I think the best card that the deck could get, and it's something I've been talking about since the release of this deck, and that is, and it's not very creative, but we take Nanoray Gymnoris, and we edit like one word on the card. We just remove Nanoray for Zetaray. Boom. Perfect card for the deck. We definitely need redundant cards like that. We need to have cards that give you access to your Relantis. That is incredibly important, because that's the main reason that this deck is unplayable. So if we just fix that, then like we don't have to worry too much about that. Actually, I don't think we're gonna play Crozen in this deck. I don't think Crozen's that great. I'm not too sure about, honestly, what the other cards Could be, because there's a lot of things that Nanoray could use that are probably going to come before we get more Relantis searchers, unfortunately. Like, we're probably going to get a Nanoray that, like, draws you a card when it goes on Relantis before we get that. We're probably going to have more protection for Relantis before we get more searchers for the card. It is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But I have a feeling that's just what's going to happen. Wait, I'm actually going to cut Leviathan Crown down to 1 in this. No, we play a higher concentration of them, so I think 2 Leviathan Crown works. I'm just going to go ahead and show what my list is now. Obviously, our planet card's Palicium because, well, we're a Palicium deck. Let me just do a tad bit of sorting. Because, yeah, I want to show what I have right now. Because I think showing what we got right now might help me get my thoughts on what the deck could really use. I have an idea on what it could use. I have an idea, but all I know is that the deck definitely needs basically just another Jim Norris. Maybe it could use a card that can recycle Relantis while also being able to search for it. That would be pretty big. Because then we can actually not die to Bull-Eyed Comet. Like, the deck has a lot of good things going for it. It's just that consistency is the biggest problem. So now my current list is 2 Jim Norris, because Jim Norris is the best card in the deck. And we need more cards like it for this deck to really be playable, because basically this deck needs a Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of design philosophy. You can't just give it one card, because this deck inherently requires just so many parts and pieces. I feel like it could be a good control deck, if I'm going to be honest. Not a combo deck, because honestly, it would require revamping the entire deck when we could just give the deck some good tools to keep it going in grind games and have more ways to control the field. Like, I think the best example of that is down the line with our attachments. Discusion, it's the only card that really does anything when it goes on Relantis, at least by itself. This is the only thing we can combo Ridwaba with, sadly. It feels like draw a card. Dear God, that would be amazing. I think we would still play this. This is always going to be at least a 1-of if we get, like, 10 new Nanorays. This is always going to be at least a 1-of, because 1 point is still pretty decent. You know, burning for one's okay. Plasma Bond, it's a name. It's a name. It's better than nothing. At least it's not he who shall not be named. This card just doesn't do anything. It's just fodder for Relantis. The new guy, Ridwaba. I love this card so much. Like, I was disappointed when it was first announced, because it was like, oh, it doesn't give the deck what it needs. But then when I read it again, I did testing with it. It's really good, which makes me more disappointed that we got this before we got the deck to be playable, because this card's gonna be nuts when this deck becomes playable. Like, absolutely nuts. Just this card will only get better with time, with more effects that, like, we get a Nanoray that could attach it. No, when it's attached to Relantis, basically becomes Nano Stinger, where it can detach itself to keep things to keep your Relantis safe. Maybe it's just when it leaves the planet, so that it doesn't die to Pelfam. And having the ability to recycle that'd be insane. 2 Cryo Cross, because I need a little guy, and this one has an actually decent ability, because with Manalossus or Sodrius, which I don't have yet, I don't have Sodrius, sadly. With the Manalossus, if you boost it, then you add this to it, it can out anything, even Omnius. I mean, that is insane. 2 Duple drop, because, again, we don't have enough names in the deck. We really need more Nanoray names, more than anything. We have really good Zeta-Ray names. I think the most we need is, like, maybe 1 more for mass recycling to, like, basically get your entire graveyard back in deck or hand or something. That's the only other Zetter I can really think of that we would need realistically. But honestly, our Zetter lineup is actually pretty solid. Speaking of, I have 2 mana losses. It's my favorite card in the game, but it's definitely not the best. Drawing 2 cards is pretty good. It's a really good way to recoup for all the resources you invest into this. And also, it becomes a very big beat stick that can almost out Omnius. Cryo Cross makes it so it can out Omnius. 2 Mystical Beast. Honestly, I would love to replace this with a Nanoray that could, like, recycle your Nano and Nanoray cards. Because Mystical Beast requires it to die to an opponent's attack, which is not great. It's not that great for Nanorays. Then Gobostris, or Gobstopper. This card, it's removal, and it's also it's a way to kill our Nanorays, get them on Relantis. So it's something. This is only a temporary thing. This is definitely gonna go at some point. This card, Planetary Palicium. It gets a little bigger if you have Palicium. Honestly, most of the Chaos Beasts are disappointing because they only get a stat boost if you play it in the planet that's from. They're just beat sticks until they die. That's when they're good. I wish that they were more like Cerberam, where they had an effect on the field that made them actually devastating. Like this thing. Could you imagine if this thing had a similar effect to Gobostris? Where it could sacrifice a creature, or maybe it could like sacrifice a creature to add one back? That would make this thing a threat to remove, meaning that your opponent can't really just wait to draw their Pelfam or something to then not kill this thing and let its effect trigger. They have to get rid of it now, which is really nice. That would be really nice anyways. But honestly, this thing's just a big beat stick that can soul charge when it dies. It's not. I don't think it's particularly amazing in most Palicium decks because your opponent can just attack into the guys and then you have none of the fodder that you were bringing back. But in this deck, this is amazing because if they attack, they have to attack into your guys, which will just put them back onto Relantis. A lot of people are demanding, a lot of Nanoray players want a retrain of this. There's not really a reason to retrain it. We don't need to. It would be nice, but there's not really a reason to retrain it. Like, yes, it could be better, but it's not meant to be the thing that does all the plays. It's meant to help facilitate your Zeterays and your Nanorays. So it's more of the thing that everything synergizes around rather than the thing that does everything. Double Wormhole, I honestly am tempted to get the Sindel deck just because there's Beast of the Black Hole in there, and there's the Quadruple Wormhole, which recycles way more, and in this deck, the extra recycling would come in huge handy. Since we're only playing Palicium creatures, it's not a big deal that we can only recycle one of the same planet. Like, because I could just put all my Nanorays back into the deck. So I'm honestly tempted to, like, not sure if I'll switch these out for the Quadruple Wormhole, but I know I'm getting Quadruple Wormhole for this deck. Charge Blaster. I would find myself getting tons of stars because, you know, my big guys get played for free. So Charge Blaster's removal. Honestly, I would like to remove it at some point though, because it can get pretty bricky since you have to use stars to remove something. Swirlpool. I think this card sucks in this deck because you don't want to shuffle away your big guys. You really don't. Most Palicium decks are fine with that, but honestly, we need a reverse Whirlpool for our deck. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a Nanoray resource card where it like shuffles a low star Palicium creature to get a Zetaray. That would be pretty nice. Because the thing is that I've always hesitated using this card when I had a Zetaray in hand because I don't know when I'm going to get another Zetaray. That means that I could never draw it again and I lose because I just didn't wait to draw something I'm more likely to get. One Bolide. I think we have a card that's better than Bolide in this deck. So, yeah, I'm just running one. This card, I love this card so much. Nanoray Nanostinger can kind of speed things up, but the main thing I like it for is just how versatile it is. You can use it as removal, or you could use it as extra material, or you can use it just as protection. That's something I wish we'd get more cards like this as well. Just cards that have multiple uses on Relantis. They don't just sit there forever. Because I like the idea of the Relantis just interacting with its materials more and not relying on the Zeta Rays. Zeta Rays could be just more of a finisher. Super Splod. This is why I replaced the Bullide with. Super Splod's pretty nice. It is laughably easy to summon a little guy to just kill a resource or attachment card, which is amazing. And then I'm not sure. I'll have to test more with this, but Leviathan Crown seems actually pretty insane because if they try to like, I don't know, use Ozos to pop your Zeta Ray, which normally would be absolutely devastating, you can just cancel the ability, which is pretty alright. You know, just negate. It's like a counter trap of sorts. Yeah, I think this deck definitely needs a lot more work. Obviously, might be cutting this down to 1. I like the Super Splot. Definitely want to cut this and this. This definitely has to go. This I want a Zeta Ray that could replace this. Maybe it could have a lighter recycle effect if you don't play it by Relantis, so that way you're not just stuck with only Relantis. I would like to see that kind of thing with Zeta Rays. I want to get rid of Duple Drop and Cryo Cross with actual names. Honestly, I feel like the deck just needs more Nanoray names, mostly. Most of them, it doesn't matter what they do, as long as one of them can search a Relantis or a Zeta Ray, that would greatly boost this deck's consistency. So that way it can actually do stuff. Honestly, I might try doing test hands with this deck. But, it still needs a lot of work. No Sodrius sucks. I really need it. I really need to get Sodrius. I really do. And I need to, I really need to see if I can maybe figure out. I want to like help for next year's contest. I want to just send a bunch of Nanoray cards, like I did. I think in the 2020 one, I just sent a bunch of Nanoray cards. I just want to send another wave of Nanoray cards with one actual thing that I want to do, because I know he won't accept archetype cards, because you know that kind of defeats the because like only a specific player base would. Like a specific bit of the player base would play a specific archetype. So, I just want to send the suggestions to like show him what cards the deck needs or could use to be a lot better. And then hopefully, he does bigger waves of support for archetypes, because one card does not do a good job of changing stuff. I think that 3 cards for an archetype, new archetype wave is what should happen. You know, 3 cards. Like the Weatherman archetype wave. That level of quantity, that would be ideal for new archetype support, because then there's more chances of it hitting. Because, like, for every Grid Lava and Sodrius, you get, like, you might get one of, these, which I might have to play in my deck. I might have to play it just so I can replace Sodrius for now, which I hate, because this card sucks. It sucks. But I don't think I have any other choice until I get those Sodriuses. So, because I'm playing casually and I just want to use Relantis, even if this sucks. I would rather have Sodrius, for sure. But yeah, I'm probably just going to make a bunch of custom Nanoray cards and maybe see if I can get Zach to see them, because I really, really want to show him just what the deck needs in order for it to be playable and maybe even viable. Which, The main issue is consistency, so I hope he listens to that, because it's always been the deck's problem, and no matter how good the support is, like, Sodrius and Ridwava were insane, but they didn't fix the core problem, so they weren't enough. They're more things that should have been added after the core of the deck's issues were solved. I think that's how it should be. But I guess for now we're just stuck with what we have right now. Hopefully in a later set, Zach will like give this deck the support it needs and up the consistency, which is definitely what it needs. It's always needed that. And then maybe I know a lot of people are tired of seeing Palicium get not Palicium, Nanorays get support. I want other decks to get support too, but I would also like my deck to be playable. So I'm gonna try and come up with the perfect wave of support that would make this deck playable, maybe even competitive potentially. And I'll try to do it in 3 cards. Just one wave. And then after that, we can get like new archetypes and support Palifalls as well, stuff like that. Ah! Oh, my Palifalls! Because I want to see those decks get support too. But I also want I want my favorite deck to be playable. So I'll come up with some ideas. I know exactly I know I can get this thing good. It can be playable in 2 cards. And then we can make like 1 or 2 more to make it full on competitive. But until then, this deck is just a fun casual deck for me to play, and I don't care about winning. I'll try doing that with Palifalls if I get the core. Which actually, that reminds me, Zach, you should do booster boxes for your game. Like full-on booster boxes. I don't know if GameCrafter lets you like guarantee ratios, but you really should do full-on booster boxes, because then card shops could sell the game if they wanted to, which could spread the word about this amazing game, and more people will play it, which means I can actually play with my physical cards. Another thing is I wish there was official zones, because making zones out of paper is very annoying. And then the last thing is that I think that I love the design a card contests, but I think there should be more ways for the community to like give their feedback on like what cards could be supported for an archetype, so that way, because the community knows a lot about a deck since they play it, because I've been playing this deck for years, and I know the core of the problem, but it definitely gets infuriating seeing that we're getting really good cards, like Sodrius and Ridwava, but they don't solve the core issue that makes the deck unplayable. And we know the problem, but it just doesn't get solved. So I think that we need ways to like let the community also like pitch in their ideas for making new waves of support, which should not be 1 card. They should be 3. I know that takes up a lot of spots in a 100-card set, but 1 card does not make a difference compared to 3. 3 can completely break a deck. It can break a deck when you use 3. But 1, usually that means that you're just acknowledging the archetype is there and just giving it something. Which, if we get 1 super solid 3-wave support, I would not mind just seeing like 1 card for a long time. And the Planetary Collection set is amazing, and I am so happy that it exists. It was definitely something this game needs because there's no singles market, which If this thing were to go out to local game stores, maybe there would be a singles market for this game. I honestly want to see this game rise. And honestly, I really want to help, like, design cards, because designing cards is one of my favorite things to do. I'm just terrible at designing rules. So, I really want to help design cards for this game. I really do, because I love this game. And I would want to, because I like looking at things with a competitive eye. Zach is really good at making casual cards, but sometimes he's not the best at making things competitive. Which Nanorays are the example of this, because he makes really good cards for it, but they don't break the deck. So I really want to help. I want to help so badly. Because I think that if this deck got super solid waves, because one reason that people hate seeing Nanorays constantly get support is it never does anything. All the support and it never does anything. So I want to fix that. So I'll probably come up with something, and then maybe after that, if it actually gets put into the game, I'd probably play online more, because you know, competitive players are mostly playing online since there's no physical events, since this game's not popular enough for that. But I think that I know this deck has potential as a great control deck. It's got a lot of potential there, and I want to tap into that. I really do. But for now, I guess I'm just gonna wait until I can get more packs, because no Sodrius sucks. I might pull a full Palifal's core before I even get the Sodrius, which is irritating. I guess I really want to debate with some of the people in the Chaos Galaxy community, like, because a lot of people think Nanorays are terrible, no potential, or anything like that. I really want to prove people wrong on that. And it's not the if you keep giving decks support, they'll eventually get broken. Because the thing is that Nanorays probably would have been playable a lot sooner if we just got that consistency boost. It was always consistency that was the problem. I know I've said that a billion times, but I want to hammer that home. Zach, if you're watching this, please, if you give Nanorays more support, fix the consistency problem. Make more, like, one or two more cards that can search Relantis. Because then, if we have 2 cards that can search Relantis, okay, I've done the math. That means that instead of 2 out of every 5 hands you get to play the game, it's 4 out of every 5 hands you get to play the game. That's amazing. And that means that the deck would be very consistent at getting the Relantis. And since most of the ways to get Relantis would be through Nanorays, that means that most of the hands that you get to play with the Relantis, you already have fodder on the field to do stuff with. Which is amazing. And I think that alone would make the deck playable. It would make it playable, for sure. But I'll probably just, like, I'll design the cards and just show them maybe in the Chaos Galaxy Discord, and see if maybe they could be made into real cards, because I want the deck to be good. I want it to be amazing. I want it to be playable. But the way that things are going now, we're going to get literally everything to make the deck competitive before it's playable. Which is unfortunate. But hopefully if I can get Zach's attention and show him the cards needed to make this deck good, maybe then we can deal with 1-card waves of support, because the 1-card waves have been pretty infuriating, because this deck cannot do 1-card waves support with how it is right now. It can deal with that after it's playable, but since it's not playable, it needs, like, a big wave of support, like the Weathermen. I think that's about everything I wanted to talk about. I'll probably order more of this set, because I want to get the 2 copies of the Sodrius. I really need those, and there's no singles marked for the game, so I need them. I need them badly. Man, I've been rambling for so long. I'm sorry that how long this rambling section was, but I'm very passionate about this deck, and I want to see it succeed so badly. But it's got major roadblocks that prevent it from being playable, and and it's really obvious what it is. And it's irritating that it feels like it's getting avoided, but if we can get that problem fixed, then this deck would be playable, it would be good, might even be rogue, especially if it gets more protection for Atlantis. That would be amazing. But until then, we're just not a good deck. We're just not that great. So, as I've said already, I'll design a wave of support that would be perfect for this deck. It'll be 3 or 4 cards, which is a lot, but it will make the deck playable and potentially competitive. But, I'll probably make a separate video on that at some point. Anyways, sorry for the long ramble, because, yeah, I think the pack opening took like 10 minutes, and then I just rambled for 30 minutes. It's pretty insane. I wish I had an actually good video editing software. But until then, I suppose I will see you all later. I hope I will. I want to return to this game for sure, and I'll play it more if my favorite deck is playable, even decent. But until then, I'm just off and on with it. So, until then, goodbye.